Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Spectre here bringing you the Minecraft World War II aircraft tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the Bereave MBR-2AM-34. The Bereave MBR-2 was a Soviet multi-purpose flying boat which entered service in the Soviet Navy in 1939. Out of 1,365 built, 9 were used by foreign countries, including Finland and North Korea. In the Soviet Union, it is sometimes carried the nickname of cow and barn. The MBR-2 was designed by Grigory Mikhailovich Bereave and first flew in 1931, powered by an imported 500 horsepower BMW 6.Z engine. Production models, which arrived in 1934, used a license-built version of this engine, the Michelin M17, which provided 680 horsepower and could be fitted with a fixed wheel or ski undercarriage. Bereave also designated a commercial airliner deviation, the MP-1, which entered airline service in 1939, and a freighter version which followed in 1936. In 1935, an improved version was developed, the MBR-2 BIS, powered by the Michelin AM-34N engine and fitted with an enclosed cockpit, dorsal gun turret, and a large tactical tail. In this configuration, the machine remained in production until 1941. As with the MBR-2, the BIS spawned a commercial deviant, the MP-1 BIS, entered service in 1939. So the version we have here in front of us is, as I mentioned, the MBR-2AM-34 or the MBR-2 BIS, which basically just had the improvements and stuff like that, as I mentioned before, most notably the different type of engine it used on the top of it. This seaplane here is a little bit unconventional compared to, I would say, normal seaplanes, and the fact that it's got a giant engine that's mounted at the top, which is kind of abstract for seaplanes. Usually seaplanes have them mounted a little bit above the wings, but not in the way that this plane does. It's definitely very unique for what it is, but pretty fun plane and should be a good one to add to your Soviet Navy bathtub build fleets. We have it here in a very standard kind of green and black, which was a very common camouflage used by the Soviet Air Forces, and in addition it has the white underbelly. It's very common for seaplanes or just World War II aircraft in general. So overall, pretty fun build and would obviously do well in water as well. In the tutorial I will cover how to position it in the water, so if you do want to have this sitting in a harbor or wherever, you will also have that ability to do it. Anyways, before we go and take a look at this aircraft, I do want to go into special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more you already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so earn a vehicle request to your choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel and is really greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out. Again, links are always going to be in my video descriptions. With that though, let's go and dive in here to take a look at the MBR-2. So starting off with, we have the front here of the aircraft, which has a nose-mounted gunner, kind of in a open space that would pop up and be able to fire this gun on the front here. I'm not exactly sure what size caliber this gun is, but I imagine probably somewhere in the along the lines of being a autocannon type of configuration. We have the cockpit here, which is enclosed, which is standard with the MBR-2 BIS version. We have the camouflage, obviously, for the aircraft, green and black, kind of front in here, mostly green with basically black kind of mixed into it. This version, we also went ahead and threw some bombs on the wings here for a little bit of extra armament, so this is an optional feature you can throw on, but it does seem like many of the MBRs did carry some bombs here, and you have 8 bombs in total, 4 on each wing. We then have the pontoons, obviously located to the sides here to help stabilize the aircraft in the water. The massive engine mounted up on top here, which propels the plane, as well as the rear gunner turret that's located on the back here of the aircraft as well. So we have the rear gunner turret, and then the large tail here, which basically was a newer feature on the newer MBR-2 BIS. So overall, pretty fun little build. Should be an interesting one to add to your not your bathtub build fleets, but your Soviet Navy maps or whatever you got going on. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer, we're going to be going ahead and actually starting with layer 2. Now we're starting with layer 2 because we get a better basis for the the aircraft built a little bit. Plus, this right here is going to be the level that will sit in the water, so I feel it's a little bit easier for those of you that do want to build this in the water to kind of start from this point. Now, what I want to go ahead and move into first here is talking about the positioning of this aircraft in the water. If you do want to have this in the water, this layer here will sit even with the water level. You can see here this blue concrete representing the water level. This right here is going to basically sit basically at that level. So layer 2 here will sit at this point. Now, obviously, you can put it a little bit lower if you want, whatever you really want to do, but basically this right here is my recommended position for it. However, you could also put this at this level as well and also be fine. However, again, I recommend this level here. Anyways, once we have that out of the way, we can go ahead and get started. If you're building this in flight, obviously none of that matters. We're going to go ahead and place down an iron trapdoor. This can be on the top portion, or the top side there of the block like so. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 quartz top slabs, and then we're going to go ahead and place down a row of smooth quartz. They're going to be going back along the center here. So that's going to be a row of 12, and then 3 smooth quartz top slabs on the end here. One thing to note, that if I do say quartz at all, I do mean smooth quartz. Regular quartz does have those harsh lines, which kind of breaks up the flow of the underside here. So whenever I say quartz, I am referring to smooth quartz throughout this build. Also, in addition, if you're completely new to my aircraft tutorials, the way I like to structure these tutorials, I like to do half on camera, half off. As you just saw, we built the center line there for this layer on camera, and from this point here, we'll be going ahead and moving to the right side. Between basically layers, I do recommend taking what we do on the right side and flipping it over to the left side, as that will basically complete the layer for you, and you'll see this as we kind of progress through the rest of this tutorial. Anyways, to go ahead and continue on, we're going to go ahead and take our iron trapdoors. We're going to place down 2 iron trapdoors on the side there of those 2 quartz top slabs. After that, we want to go ahead and place down 2 quartz top slabs back from those iron trapdoors, followed by 1 and 2 quartz upside down stairs. We're going to go ahead and place down a row of 5 of quartz full blocks back, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 2 quartz upside down stairs, or actually sorry, only 1 quartz upside down stair. And then 1 and 2 quartz top slabs, and then 2 iron trapdoors after that. And that right there will basically make the center there of the fuselage. At this point, we're going to go to our first quartz block. So on the full block on the side, we're going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 blocks to the side. Same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to then place down an iron trapdoor, followed by 1, 2, 3 quartz top slabs, and 2 iron trapdoors back from that. We can then delete these blocks as we will not need these any further. And this right here basically builds the bottom portion there of our pontoons, which will be on both sides there. With that all complete though, that right there is going to wrap up what we have there for layer 2. Taking a look at it from above, this is what we should have for the top down view. And with that, we'll be dropping down to layer number 1. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, layer 1. Layer 1 is going to be super simple. What we're going to do is we're going to drop down to this bottom section here. We want to go ahead and count back 1, 2, 3, and after our 3rd quartz full block, we're going to go ahead and go to our 4th. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor on the bottom of that, followed by a 2nd and 3rd iron trapdoor, so you have a row of 3 there of iron trapdoors, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 quartz top slabs like that. So you should have 1, 2, 3 more quartz blocks sticking out the back here after those quartz top slabs, so just like that on the bottom there. Then go into the side of those quartz top slabs, we're going to place down 3 iron trapdoors like that coming off the side there. And that right there is going to conclude layer number 1. Pretty simple stuff there for that. Really nothing too crazy, and that's what we should have from the side view, like so. Anyways, that right there, again, will conclude this layer. And with that, let's go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 3. And moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. One thing I'm going to go ahead and also mention is that we'll be building this aircraft completely green and then leaving the camouflage for the ending. And talk about how to go about adding that. So just so you know, the aircraft will be entirely green as we build this for the tutorial, and then once we add the camouflage, we'll start to see that black come into play. But it just makes it a little bit easier for actually building this aircraft up at this point. To go ahead and get started though, we want to go ahead and begin with by placing down a smooth quartz block on top of this iron trap door. We're going to go ahead and then place down a 2nd smooth quartz block back from it. Coming off the front, we're going to place down a white stained glass pane, and then going back from that middle quartz block, we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of green terracotta, which in total is going to go all the way back to this quartz top slab in a row of 16. You can also choose to leave this row hollow. However, I do recommend filling this aircraft in if you are not planning on doing any kind of interior, because it's pretty thin. You don't really have much room really at all to do interior, so I'm just going to go and fill it in with green terracotta down the center. However, on the interior, we're going to place down 2 smooth quartz full blocks, which will be necessary after that green terracotta, and then 2 quartz top slabs like that to go ahead and complete our center line. Moving to the sides here, we're going to place down a white stained glass pane coming off this green terracotta, or this white quartz block here, and then a direct wall to the side. we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves an item frame, place down an item frame on the side of this diorite wall, and then in that item frame we're going to go ahead and place down a green bed, like so. We're going to then take our our smooth quartz, we're going to place down a smooth quartz block back, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 green terracotta blocks back. So this right here, this row will be necessary on the side here. And we're going to then place down a smooth quartz block, followed by a smooth quartz upside down stair, and then a smooth quartz top slab right after that. After this point, we then want to go ahead and go to our 1, 2, 3, 4, our 5th green terracotta block, so the side here, and we're going to go ahead and place down a banner on the side of it. Now this banner design is pretty simple, really simple actually. It's going to be a green banner with just a white line on the lower third of the banner. So it should look something like that. It's not going to be split directly in half, but just on the lower section there. And we're just going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of these banners like that for creating that coloring on the side of the aircraft to help kind of show that flow of green down in there like so. And that will be basically placed on both sides like that. After that's done, we're going to need to grab some materials for our pontoons, which will be some green terracotta, some green stained glass panes, some mossy cobblestone walls, dark oak stairs, and slabs like that. To begin with, we're going to go ahead and go into our first iron trapdoor on the front here. We're going to place down a green terracotta block. We're going to go ahead and then place down a green stained glass pane to these 3 sides of that block. Going back from the block, we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 green terracotta blocks, 1, 2, and 3 mossy cobblestone walls, 1, 2, and 3 walls. We're going to then place down another green terracotta block here, a green stained glass pane to both sides, followed by a dark oak wood stair and a dark oak wood slab coming off that stair like that, going back. And that right there will make your pontoons, which will be applied to both sides. With that all complete, that is going to conclude what we have there for layer number 3. Taking a look at it from above, this is what we should have for the top-down view so far for this aircraft. With that complete though, that's going to do it for layer 3. Let's move on to layer number 4. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we move it into layer number 4. For layer 4 to begin with, we're going to place down a green terracotta, or actually first off a red nether brick wall on top of this white stained glass pane. Going back from it, we're going to place down 2 green terracotta blocks. Going to the rear of our aircraft, we're going to go ahead and place down a green terracotta block on top of this quartz top slab here, followed by 1 and 2 more, so you have a row of 3 that goes forward like so. Going off this row toward the back, we're going to place down 2 smooth quartz full blocks and 2 smooth quartz top slabs like so for the back there of the aircraft. After that, moving to the sides, we're going to place down a row of 1 and 2 with mossy cobblestone walls, followed by a black stained glass block, and then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 green terracotta, a black stained glass block, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 green terracotta, black stained glass, green terracotta, black stained glass, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 green terracotta blocks back. We're going to go and then place down 1 and 2 red nether brick walls back, as well as a green stained glass pane, and then a white stained glass pane like that going toward the rear of the aircraft. And lastly, a skeleton skull like that coming off the side of that smooth quartz full block. After that's all complete, that's going to basically do for the fuselage there, and we're going to go and start moving into our floats here. For these, we're going to need dark oak wood slabs, some daylight detectors, some diorite walls, a end rod, a birchwood fence post, and also a iron trapdoor or birchwood trapdoor if you are on Bedrock or Pocket Edition. To go ahead and build the pontoons here, very simple. We're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood slab on top of this green stained glass pane, 2 daylight detectors back, followed by a diorite wall, then a birchwood fence post here, and right here, depending on what version you're on, if you're on Java, we'll place down an iron trapdoor here. If you're on Pocket Edition or Bedrock, you'll use a birchwood trapdoor. Now, using the give command, give at p Minecraft, or we can just type in debug stick to make it a little bit easier. But basically, this right here is going to be your command if you're on Java, /give at p Minecraft :debug_ stick. Press enter, we get this item here. This item, we'll go ahead and make a selection with left click on this iron trapdoor, and so we want to go ahead and select it until it says selected open false. We're going to set this by right clicking open to true, and it will sit flat against the fence post like so. If you are on Bedrock or Pocket Edition, you do not have access to a debug stick, and if that's the case, go ahead and use a birchwood trapdoor in its place, as you'll get the same effect out of it as it operated as a normal trapdoor. After that though, we're going to then place down a end rod on top of this green stained glass pane on the inside here, and this mossy cobblestone wall on the inside. Again, the inside, what I mean is the side closest to the fuselage. So like that on both sides there for your little floats there. And with that all complete, that right there is going to conclude what we have there for layer 4. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, layer number 5. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a dark oak slab on top of this wall like so, followed by a green terracotta block, and then a spruce wood trapdoor. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks, followed by 2 black stained glass blocks, and then switching back to our green terracotta, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 green terracotta blocks down the center here. And again, it is going to be 18, followed by a dark oak wood upside down stair on top of that quartz top slab, like so. After that, moving to the sides, we're going to go ahead and go back up to the front here. We're going to place down a dark oak wood stair on top of this wall, like so, and then a narrow stair behind it. So the stair turns into a corner stair, and then you have the normal wall, or the normal stair. This spruce wood trapdoor is kind of act as the access point to get into, or in and out of the aircraft, or into this anti-aircraft gun position, which will be added into the next layer. We then want to go ahead and grab ourselves a item frame. And we're going to place down an item frame here on the side of this stair. In that item frame, we want to go ahead and also place down a green bed, like so. And we're going to go ahead and then place down a dark oak sign on the side there of the stair if you are on Java. So it's going to be a Java-only feature, and we'll just be throwing that on the sides there of that stair. This green bed right here, I think actually is not supposed to be there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this item frame right here. I think that was just a matter of copying and pasting some stuff around, and that got put down there. So I don't think that this is actually supposed to be there, and I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that on the sides there of that direct wall. At this point, we're going to go ahead and then take our green terracotta blocks. We're going to go ahead and go back from the stair 1, 2, and 3. And we then want to place down a zombie head on the side there of this green terracotta block. We're going to go then place down a row of 2 of dark oak wood slabs, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 green terracotta blocks back. Double check our count here. It is going to be 12 blocks, followed by 2 red nether brick walls, and then 2 green stained glass panes back from that. After we have that done, continuing on, we're going to go ahead and also place down another green stained glass pane going back on both sides there, so right above that zombie head. We then want to go ahead and basically transition to our wings. So for our wings here, we're going to go ahead and go to our second green terracotta block right here. We're going to place down 4 iron trapdoors to the side. So like that. Then we're going to go ahead and grab our quartz top slabs. We're going to place down a row of 4, followed by a second row of 4, and then a third row like that. And then our next row of iron trapdoors is going to be a longer row. This row being a row of 8. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we then want to go and do a row of 5. After that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 iron trapdoor like that. After we have that done, we want to go and then grab ourselves a wither skeleton skull, some blocks of netherite, some polished blackstone walls, and black concrete. We're going to be going ahead and making our bombs. For the bombs, we're going to go ahead and go off these quartz top slabs, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks over, and 1, 2, 3, 4 wither skeleton skulls on those blocks, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 polished blackstone walls, and 1, 2, 3, and 4 black concrete blocks like that. After we have that done, we then want to go ahead and go basically up and toward the center here from these end rods. So we're going to go up like this, and then kind of at an angle here, place down our end rods. So basically coming off that, or right next to that block on the other right, and right next to that black concrete block. And then continuing out to the sides here, again, same thing that we did before. If you are on Pocket Edition or Bedrock, you use birchwood trapdoors. In Java, we're going to use iron trapdoors. So we're going to place down an iron trapdoor here, here, and one rotated around like this. We're going to do the same thing for our debug sticks here by going ahead and selecting the selected to open feature. We're going to have this one open like this, and then these two are going to open up and connect to each other like so, kind of going up from that wall there. Again, birchwood trapdoors will work just as fine as well, so you can make the decision there based on whichever is easiest for you guys. But yeah, that right there is going to conclude layer number 5. As you can see, we actually start to get some shape here for the aircraft. And with that, we'll be going ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 6. Alright guys, so moving into our next layer here, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer number 6. For layer 6 to get started with here, we're going to place down a polished blackstone slab on top of this green terracotta block, a end rod going toward the front, and then a chain coming off it like so. We then want to place down a dark oak wood fence gate that will be on top of this spruce wood trapdoor, like this, opened up toward that slab like that. Going back from the fence gate, we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor, and then a daylight detector, a narrow brick stair, and then 2 black stained glass blocks. We're going to go then place down a row of green terracotta, which is all the way down the spine, or going to go down the spine of the aircraft, a total of 7 blocks. We then have our rear gunner position, which is going to be a row of 3 of black stained glass blocks for right now. And then taking our green terracotta blocks again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 green terracotta blocks back, followed by a green stained glass pane there on the very end of the tail. And after we have that done, we want to go and then go back up to the front. We're going to place down a wither skeleton skull on the side of this slab like that. And we then want to go ahead and grab our random block. We're going to place down right here, and we're going to do a Java feature that we can do. Using our debug stick, we're going to place down a lever here on the side of this block. We're going to go and select it so that the face is set to the floor, and we can go ahead and then set it so that it faces toward our wither skeleton skull. And we can do the same thing there on both sides, and we have a nice little feature, and that's going to really be a Java only feature. If you're on Bedrock or Pocket Edition, you can throw a zombie head here instead of that lever, but the lever there is really going to be the best bet for what we're trying to show there. So just basically do whatever works best for you guys. Then on both sides of this daylight detector, we're going to have a dark oak trapdoor, a nether brick corner stair like that, and then 2 black stained glass blocks. We then want to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green terracotta blocks, 1 and 2 dark oak stairs, a black stained glass pane, a nether brick wall, and a nether black stained glass pane, followed by 1, 2, and 3 green stained glass panes back. We're going to go to our second to last block, place down a birchwood fence post, and then our fourth from last block, and a birchwood fence post as well. So just like that on the rear there, and those will be kind of the supports for the tail once we kind of build it up in the next few layers. At this point, we're going to go ahead and now dive into building our wings. For our wings here, we're going to start off by placing down 2 dark oak stairs here on top of those 2 iron trapdoors, and then a dark oak corner stair like so. We're going to go then place down 2 green terracotta blocks to the side here, followed by a dark oak upside down stair like so. Upside down stair coming off it to turn into a corner stair, and then a corner stair coming off that upside down stair like that, followed by a dark oak top slab on the very end there. After we have that done, our next row here is going to be 2, or we're just going to go ahead and just do basically 2 smooth quartz blocks. So 1, 2, actually it's going to be a long row here, but it's going to be 2 rows of this long row. And this long row is going to go all the way to this stair right here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now after your 8th block there, we want to go and then grab ourselves a quartz stair, and we're going to place down a smooth quartz upside down stair like that, followed by 2 quartz top slabs coming off of it. So the side here, 1, 2. And we then want to go ahead and grab ourselves some nether brick, acacia wood, and iron trapdoors. We're going to place down a red nether brick top slab, a acacia wood trapdoor, and then 2 iron trapdoors to the side there. After that, we want to go and then skip 2 spaces out to the side. So 1, 2, and we're going to place down a birchwood fence gate, like so, which will be opened up toward the middle. And we're going to delete those 2 blocks like that to get us out to the side. Next row here is going to take our quartz. We're going to go ahead and place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 quartz full blocks. We want to go and then place down another quartz full block. So we're going to place down one more that comes off next to the stair here. 2 quartz top slabs, a row of 2 of red nether brick top slabs, and then 2 iron trapdoors like that to the side there. Next row is going to be a row of green terracotta, which in total is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to stop at 8 back. We're going to go then place down a quartz upside down stair like so, 2 quartz top slabs like that to the side, and then a row of 4 of iron trapdoors. Actually, sorry, my bad. It's going to be a row 3 here of quartz top slabs, and then 3 iron trapdoors to the side there. Next row, we're taking dark oak slabs. We're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, like that, and then a dark oak stair like so. And then for this section here, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves our daylight detectors, and we're going to place down a row of 5 of daylight detectors across here. One problem you may run into is that underneath here, these iron trapdoors will open up if you are on daytime. So you will need to use a debug stick to do the same technique, open to false, and it'll close those trapdoors like so. You can also go ahead and replace those trapdoors with birch wood trapdoors as well if needed, if you're having problems with the daylight detectors opening them up. So just take that into account as well. And we're going to go ahead and also place down a dark oak trapdoor on top of this iron trapdoor and close it like that so it lays flat. And with that all complete there, that is going to pretty much wrap up this layer, just trying to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. Actually, one thing we do want to change is right here for this connection for these floats. We're actually going to replace this quartz top slab with an upside down stair here, and then also an upside down stair that'll be right there as well. So we have those connections there so that these actually connect up into the wing. So that right there will basically connect our pylons to the aircraft and get our wings built up a little bit further. But the last thing we are going to be covering here is how to make these banners that will be on the side of the aircraft here, which are very simple to make. But basically they're just here for a little bit of cockpit detailing and all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those materials, and I'll see you guys here in a sec to make those banners. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into making these banners, pretty simple. We're going to need 3 black banners, 5 green dye, and a loom. We're going to place down our loom, go into our loom, place our black banners in our green dye. We're going to go in for basically all 3 of these banners. We're going to go and select the line on the bottom here, green dye. So we have 1, 2, and 3 of these banners. 2 of these banners are going to be put back into the loom. So our first one here, and we're going to select the vertical line on the left side, and then the vertical line over here on the right side to basically create these banners like that. To make these banners on the side, we're going to place down this banner without the vertical green line right here on this green terracotta, or this black stained glass block like that. And then we want the banner with the green line facing toward the front to be the banner that's in front of it. So basically both sides here, this banner will go over here and this banner will go over there. So basically just apply those to the sides there to help kind of shape that cockpit a little bit better. And with that, that is going to basically wrap up what we have there for layer number 6. And with that, let's move on to layer number 7. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our next layer, we have layer 7. For layer 7, to get started with here, we're going to place down a row of dark oak buttons on the middle, 2 black stained glass blocks. We're going to go and then skip a space in our second green terracotta block back. We're going to place down a green carpet, followed by a daylight detector, a dark oak trapdoor, and then we're going to go back here to our glass, basically gunner position. We're going to place down a black stained glass pane on top of this first black stained glass block, another black stained glass block here, a polished black stone slab going toward the rear, a end rod, and a chain coming off that end rod, like so, for that rear turret. We then want to go ahead and go to our last green terracotta block here for the tail. Actually, sorry, we're going to go to the green stained glass pane. We're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall on top of that green stained glass pane, followed by 1, 2, 3, and 4 green terracotta blocks going toward the front, and then a green stained glass pane like that on the front there. We then want to go ahead and grab ourselves a barrier block. We're going to go and go up and over from this, basically this birchwood fence post like so. And we're going to go and place down a lever, come off the side of it, flick downwards like so. We then also want to go and place down a birchwood fence post, coming off the side of the barrier block here, like that, on both sides there for the supports. Therefore will be our horizontal stabilizers a little bit later. At this point, also going to this turret here, we're going to place down a black stained glass pane on top of this narrow brick wall here. And they're going to place down wither skeleton skulls at about a 45-degree angle here in the corners, just like that. If you are on Java again and you have access to a debug stick, go ahead and grab our command here. We can actually go ahead and extend the properties of this of these glass panes to the sides here to kind of help give it a little bit more of a complete feel, I guess you can say. So we'll just extend it to the sides here like that, and I think it kind of helps reinforce that glass kind of canopy or little ball turret there on the back. So that's what I would recommend doing for that, just to kind of help detail it up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and also grab a dark oak fence post, place it down on top of this dark oak stair, and then come off this dark oak trapdoor in the center. We're going to place down a trapdoor on the side, a green terracotta block, and then a green carpet right here. At this point, going ahead and working on our wings, we're going to take our dark oak trapdoors. We're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 trapdoors across this section here. Then taking daylight detectors, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 daylight detectors to the side. Actually, sorry, only 9. And we want to go and then make sure our trapdoors are closed with those daylight detectors added on. We're going to go then place down 2 dark oak slabs to the side, followed by 2 red nether brick slabs, and then a dark oak slab, and then a dark oak stair. Now, coming off the back of that dark oak stair, we're going to place down a total of, there's going to be a quartz upside down, or smooth quartz upside down stair, like so, coming off the back of the stair. And we then want to go and place down a quartz top slab, and then an upside down quartz stair, like so, to the edge here. And actually, my bad, it's going to be flipped around the other way, so it's going to be coming off the top slab, like that on the very tip there of the wing. After that, our next row here is going to be a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 dark oak trapdoors like that. Make sure they're all closed. And actually, sorry, it's going to be one less, so it's going to be a row of 5 out from that point there. And then 3 more daylight detectors, followed by a row of 1, 2, and 3 dark oak wood trapdoors, or slabs, and then 1 and 2 red nether brick, like that. And then after we have that all done, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood slab here and a dark oak wood corner stair. After that, a quartz upside down stair, and then 2 quartz top slabs like that out to the side. Our next section here is going to be taking our dark oak wood trapdoors. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 that go back from those slabs there. And we then want to go ahead and grab our quartz top slab here, an iron trapdoor. We're going to go ahead and place down a quartz top slab on the back here of the stair, an iron trapdoor, and then 2 green carpets on top of that, like so, to go ahead and complete that. Also, so we don't have to worry about it later, we'll also go ahead and just take green carpet and place it on top of those quartz top slabs and upside down stairs on the very wing tips, just so we don't have to come back to it later. Might as well just kind of finish it off since we're already at it. But with that all complete there, that is going to basically wrap up what we have there for layer number 7 for the build, and with that we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, layer number 8. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we'll be moving into layer number 8. For layer 8, to get started with, we're going to be going ahead and going to the tail of our aircraft. We're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of this one, followed by 1, 2, 3 back, and then a green stained glass pane like that on the very end there. We then want to place down 2 iron trapdoors, which will be coming off the center block like so. And we're going to go then place down a iron trapdoor coming off the side of this one, and then a birchwood fence post like that. Your trapdoor will activate here, and if that's the case, we'll use a debug stick here to change the properties of it, and you can also use a birchwood trapdoor again if need be. Then right to the side here, we're going to go back into the side with an iron trapdoor, place down an additional 2 that come off it like so for row 3, and then we're just going to place down 1 and 2 iron trapdoors going toward the front, followed by 3 rows of 2, so 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. And it should look like this here for the tail. We can also place down a lever on top of this barrier block, which will be pointing toward that direction, like so for the time being. After that, going ahead and moving into our engine mounts here, we're going to go ahead and go basically from this section, we're going to place down a block here, and we're going to place down a zombie head on top of it for, actually, sorry, my bad, it's going to be a block on top of this fence post, so it's just whatever, and then a zombie head coming off like that forward, and we'll delete whatever was on that fence post. We then can go ahead and place down a end rod sideways on top of this green terracotta block, and to the sides of this, we're going to go ahead and place down a zombie head on both sides like that. And lastly, just a simple detail here is to place down a polished black stone button on top of this black stained glass block. Not a huge deal, but just go ahead and throw that on there for the extra detail. And with that all done, that is going to conclude layer 8, and with that, we'll probably be moving into our final layers of the build here. So with that, let's go ahead and move into our last final layers. Alright guys, moving into our final layers here, we're going to be going ahead and moving into layers 9 through 13. These layers here are pretty simple, so we're just going to basically do this all together and kind of work through this. So to begin with, we're going to be going ahead and going to the top here and go ahead and build our engine. We're going to place down lots of cobblestone wall on top of these 4 zombie heads like so. We then want to go ahead and then place down a dark oak fence post going up from these zombie heads here on the back. At this point, we're going to go and then take some dark oak top slabs, which we'll grab from over here, and we're going to place down a top slab that's going to be in between these walls here, and then 1 forward. We're going to go and then place down a dark oak trapdoor on the bottom of this section here. After that, we're going to go and then go up from the trapdoor. We're going to go and place down an iron bar, and then a polished black, or a dark oak wood trapdoor coming off it going forward. To both sides of the iron bar, we're going to place down a dark oak wood upside down stair, followed by a second upside down stair going back on both sides. After that, on this dark oak wood stair, we're going to place down an item frame and an iron bar in that item frame like that. We can also go ahead and grab ourselves some black concrete at this point in time, and we'll be going ahead and placing down black concrete behind those behind the iron bar between those 2 stairs. So continue on from this point here, we're going to go and then place down a black concrete block on top of this one here. We're going to then place down a green terracotta block coming off that, and we would then want to go ahead and grab ourselves a green shulker box, place down a green shulker box forward, as well as a dark oak wood button coming off the front there of that box. We're also going to place down a dark oak wood upside down stair to both sides like so, and this item frame is actually going to be moved 1 forward, and it's going to be on the side here of this stair right here. So the stair that connects up to that mossy cobblestone wall, just like that. We then also want to go ahead and grab ourselves a dark oak wood sign, and we're going to be placing down a dark oak wood sign on the side here of this stair right here on both sides. So just like that. We're going to go then place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on top of this stair, like this, open it to the sides. And then we want to go and then grab our iron bar again. We're going to place down an iron bar here to both sides, and then a dark oak trapdoor. Come off the iron bar closed like that to lay flat against it so the iron bars connect. Behind these, we're going to place down black concrete blocks like so. And we then want to go ahead and place down a dark oak trapdoor on the side there of those black concrete blocks. With that done there, we're going to go ahead and then place down a section on top here, which is going to be a dark oak stair on top of this section here, and then another dark oak stair going forward from it. And after we have that done, we want to go and then place down a dark oak, or this dark oak stair is actually going to be turned into a corner stair, and this right here, this will be a dark oak stair and a corner stair as well. We're going to go and then place down a dark oak trapdoor here, an iron bar here, and then a black concrete block back from it. This right here, we can go ahead and use a debug stick here to change that iron bar to kind of work a little bit better in this situation. Since we do have these corner stairs, it kind of makes it a little bit tricky to do, but we can go ahead and have this face to the sides here and basically connect up like that to the corner stairs and kind of keep that look that we were going for a little bit better. And on top here, we're just going to place down two dark oak trapdoors and then a green carpet on top of this black concrete block here. Now, after that black concrete block, we are going to go ahead and grab anvils. We're going to place down an anvil here to both sides. And then on the sides here, we're going to place down another dark oak stair upside down to both sides. And coming off those dark oak stairs on the sides here, we're going to place down some zombie heads. In the middle here, we'll just go ahead and very simply place down a green terracotta block in the middle here, followed by a second one up, and then one out to both sides like so. Coming off the sides of that block, we're going to go ahead and grab a item frame, place down an item frame on both sides of that row 3 of green terracotta, and then a iron bar in it. And also, speaking of doing that, we're going to go ahead and grab our item frames again, and we're going to place down an item frame here on the side of this corner stair with a iron bar on the side of it. So, just like that there on the top as well. Now, continuing on, we're going to go then place down another black concrete block here, another green carpet, and another anvil here to both sides like that for the engine. We then want to go ahead and continue on by placing down a mossy cobblestone wall. Or we're actually going to go ahead and place down a green terracotta block that's actually going to go right here in the middle. So just like that. We're going to go ahead and place down another one up, and then a second one like so. And after we have that done, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall on the side here of these two blocks there in the center. And then we're going to place down zombie heads on both sides up on the top here, like so. Continuing on, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood stair, which will be coming off this center green terracotta block. On the bottom here, a mossy cobblestone wall. And on the top, we're going to go ahead and place down a green stained glass pane. So just like that. And the last thing to do here for our engine will be to grab a stone brick slab and some polished andesite slabs. We're going to place down a stone brick slab and just kind of go up at an angle, 3 up, kind of a staircase, like so, with our polished andesite. So up like that, and then we're going to then go down. So just like this, and that right there will basically make our prop there on the back of the aircraft. And with that done, that's the engine, and we'll be going ahead and now moving up to the continue on. I do think I forgot to place a dark oak button here on the side, on top of this black stained glass block as well, so just make sure that gets translated there up on the front. But yeah, with that all done, going to the tail of the aircraft here, we're going to go ahead and place down a green stained glass pane on top of this one, and then 1, 2, and 3 green stained glass, or green terracotta blocks back. We're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, and then a mossy cobblestone wall, like that. And then on the very top here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block in the center, green stained glass pane to both sides. After we have that done, we're going to grab dark oak wood trapdoors, and very simply, we're going to place down dark oak wood trapdoors on our iron trapdoors here, as well as our fence posts and this section here on top of this lever, and on top of here as well. And we're just going to do the same thing over here as well. So just kind of filling this in here, making our horizontal stabilizers, and then we just want to go ahead and go to the bottom of this trapdoor here, and we're going to place down a lever on the bottom of it, like so. And same thing over here. Lever on the bottom of that trapdoor, like so, by shift clicking while we're in the air. Anyways, that right there will basically conclude that, and that's going to basically conclude the tutorial here in layers 9 through 13. With that, we have the main aircraft built. I'm going to go ahead and go into moving in and talk about a little bit about the camouflage and how to go about adding it and all that stuff. very briefly, and that will pretty much conclude the build. So with that, let's go ahead and move into our camo. Alright guys, so moving in and talking about the camo. Now the camo I'm not going to go ahead and really dive into too much. I think the best thing to do is to go ahead and look up pictures of actual MBR2s and try to copy that camo. But basically to talk about, these are the materials I really used for it. You can see I'm using black concrete in, like so, polished black stone stairs, and all that stuff to kind of replicate it. You can see when I want to have the black that integrates into the wing, I changed the daylight textures to that kind of light blue color to help kind of show a little bit of a difference in the wings there. And I took it to the tips there. It even went up into the engine up on top here. So you're kind of just throwing the black in. You don't want to go too crazy with it. You can see that it's just kind of thrown in little splotches on the aircraft. We still want to keep it mostly green for the most part. Probably about a 60 to 40, maybe more like a 70 to 30 type ratio. You're just putting the black in at very kind of, conservative amounts to just kind of give a little bit of highlights to it. And that's really all you're doing. As I recommended, the best thing to do is to find pictures of the MBR2 and try to replicate the camo based off of what you see and kind of proportion-wise where the camouflage goes, and kind of try to line it up, and that's really the best way to do it. One technique also here to keep in mind is when you get down to this section, if you have any black in here, I would change the green from being green on those banners to black with that white there to help kind of, again, reinforce that camouflage look. So, again, I'm not going to go into full detail about going into camouflaging this entire thing and doing that, but that's just kind of what I recommend to go about doing if you are trying to replicate some kind of camo or want to put the camouflage on the aircraft. But that right there will basically conclude this tutorial with that out of the way. So hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial for the MBR-2AM-34. Pretty cool aircraft in our kind of first ever Soviet float plane, so a fun one at that, and hopefully we'll definitely see some more of these coming in the near future. Anyways guys, again, big special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. As always, if you want to become a patron, feel free to check my Patreon page. Links are always in my video descriptions. And just in that, again, a big or if you do end up using this build, I do ask you guys give me proper credit for it. This would be the thing from the side build to my channel or this video if this does bring social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, your free user for a project you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. But with that though, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been WW2 and I'll see you guys next time.